Hello, you are welcome to today's lesson. My name is Ebenezer and I'll be the one academic lesson. Today we are going to study the overview of academic writing tax 1. And in this lesson, I will cover all the fundamental information that you need to know in the academic writing tax 1. So, by the end of this chapter, we will learn what the academic writing tax 1 is about. We also look at what the examiners are expecting and also check the key factors in the tax 1. I'll go further to teach you how you can produce very high scoring essays after you have understood these basics. Now, let's look at the overview of the academic writing tax 1. Writing tax 1 is basically report writing, and in the test you'll be presented with visual information that you need to talk about. So assume yourself to be a researcher who has been assigned by board of directors of a business to gather information on a specific topic. You are supposed to put the information that you have received in a graphic form, okay, and present it to this board of directors. This is how professional the writing should be. So in relation to the IELTS, these board of directors are the examiners. The examiners will check your presentation based on what you have written and send you a feedback. So if you want to do better in the test, your essay should be clear and easy to understand. Even if the reader has not seen the graph yet, they should be able to picture it from what you have written. For you to do this, your report should be clear and straightforward, so that they are easy for everyone to understand. Now, let's discuss the essay a little further. Let's look at what you would be working on in the exam. So in the test, you'll be given one graph, okay, and you have to report on the graph that has been given to you. This picture or graph that will be given to you might be a line graph, bar graph, a table, a pie chart, process diagram, maps, or double diagram. Each of these graphs, when given, will have a question written out to explain what the graph is about, and another statement which will tell you what you should do. Your assignment is to read what you have been given, examine the graph, and write a short report about the obvious things that you see in the graph, and that is what we call main features. When you are given the graph, the examiners are expecting you to either to describe the trends and positions, talk about stages of a process, examine changes in an event or places, or compare two different places. It will depend on the graph given to you and what the examiners are expecting you to do. So you need to look at the question properly in order to know what exactly you are looking for. Now, let's look at an example of a typical writing tax 1 question. The line graph below shows the number of single family homes constructed in the United States by region over a period of 6 years. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. You can see the format of the question is always the same in all type of the graphs. The first line of the statement will describe what the graph is about. So if you look at this, you can see this first part of the statement, which has been colored in green, is telling you what exactly the graph is about. The second line is directed to you, the writer. It contains the instruction which is stating what you are to do. So if you check from this graph, it tells us to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. We have been told to do several things: summarize, select and report, make comparisons. So these are a set of instructions which has been given to you by the examiner that you should be able to meet those tasks. All right, so this is what you always see in the second line. The first line is about the information that should be in the graph, and second one is the instruction given to you by the examiner that you should execute. Finally, you have a picture of the graph in the question. So this is the picture which is also illustrating the question here. So it's about the number of single family homes constructed in the United States, and you can see there's a new residential construction. All right, so this is a picture which is also illustrating or depicting what is within this particular sentence. So this is how the format of any kind of writing task will be. Okay, look at the question. The question has always been separated into three sectors: the first sector, second sector, and third sector. That is how the question will always be. Now, I'm going to give you some essential information that you should know, and what you are supposed to do and not to do when you are given a writing task one. So it's like some key facts that you need to know in the writing task one. The first thing you should understand is that the task one is marked together with the task two as one complete writing task. So if you take the entire writing task, you'll be given two sets of writings. You'll be given a first set, which is the writing task one, which actually covers the graph and reporting essay. And then the second part will be a general kind of essay that is about everyday issues that you need to write about. It is two of these tests that will be put together to form the writing task. The second fact that you should know is that you are expected to write an essay with no less than 150 words. Very important. If your task one essay or your report is less than 150 words, you would not get anything more than a 5.5 in your task achievement. So make sure that your essay has a wording more than 150 words. You are advised to also spend just 20 minutes on the writing task one. So at most 20 minutes should be spent on this task. Okay, spend just 20 minutes on this task and don't write anything less than 150 words. The writing task one is a formal writing. This is an academic test, so it's a formal writing. So you are therefore required to use formal writing style. Okay, don't use jargons, don't use abbreviations and other things that are not professional. So ensure that you are using a formal writing style when you are dealing with this kind of essay. Now, the last thing that I would also tell you is that the writing tax 1 and tax 2 are marked together, but the tax 2 hold more value, it hold more marks as compared to the tax 1. So if we are marking the tax 1 and tax 2 over 100%, the tax 1 would take about 33%. So it might be marked over 33%, while the tax 2 is marked over 67%. You get it? So the tax 1 is about half the marks of the tax 2. All right. So that is what you should understand. So the tax 1 forms 1/3 of the total marks in the writing. So the entire writing tax is marked over 3. So the writing tax 1 will take 1 part of the third marks, and then the tax 2 take 2/3 of the entire marks. So that is how the marking is done. So the tax 2 is twice as that of the tax 1. When it comes to the marks of the tax 2 is twice that of the tax 1. All right, so this is all that you need to know about the writing tax when it comes to the overview. To ensure that you have understood the overview of the academic writing tax 1, I would like to give you a test now so that you can answer the questions and let me know whether you understand what has been given to you or not. Choose whether these statements are true or false. So this will be the test that I'm giving to you now concerning the overview. So choose whether these statements are true or false. Writing tax 1 is basically report writing. Is it true or false? The examiners will ask you to report on 2 different graphs. So they will tell you to report on 2 tests, all right, 2 different graphs in one particular writing text. Is it true or false? The format of the question differs depending on the type of graph given to you. Is it true or false? The writing tax is made up of both tax 1 and tax 2. Is it true or false? Your essay should contain more than 150 words. True or false? Writing tax 1 is a formal writing, but you can use jargons and informal words. Is it true or false? And writing tax 1 is not timed. There is no timing on writing tax 1. Is it true or false? All right, so this will be the end of our lesson. We will look at the next lesson and prepare yourself for that too. You can go over this, and then I'll meet you in the next lesson. Bye.